Rated PG-13.
What's up, guys? MiddleAgedGamer here. We are playing Train Simulator 2018. I think it's 2018 at least. Haven't played this game in forever since Train Sim World has come out. However, I do know the Northeast Corridor route's about to be released for Train Sim World, so we're going to do a throwback right before it's released, before I can live stream or record any videos on Train Sim World. We're going to do the Northeast Corridor on this game. I know, that's a surprise, I guess. Anyways, I haven't been streaming or recording videos in quite a while. Real life has taken over. As you guys know, I'm about to have a baby boy any day now. So I do apologize for not being there for my fans out there or hanging out with you guys and having a beer at the bare minimum. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go to Drive. We're going to find the Northeast Corridor routes real quick. Under Career. I'm like, why is nothing showing up? There we go. So let's go down to Northeast Corridor real quick. Ooh, I've only done 2 of those, North London and Goblin Lines. I need to go back and do some of those. Here we go. We're going to do a long one as well. Here we go. This is perfect. 85 minutes long, 4 out of 5 difficulty, which is pretty difficult, especially on the old train sim that we're playing now. We're going to be using the Amtrak Acela Express on the Northeast Corridor, as I've mentioned already. 85 minutes long, 4 to 5 difficulty, says drive the Acela from 30th Street to New York. I think that means we're driving from Philadelphia to New York, but I'll double check as we get in there. Shout out to Kingdom Hearts, Mike, and Neil Live, Neil08. Shout out to Neil, another streamer that I watch from time to time. Got quite a few people who have finished this. Actually, not a whole lot. Only, is that 4 people, 5 people that have finished this? Kind of scary. Anyways, it's stormy. It's nighttime. It's about 6:29 p.m. It's autumn. It's not going to be a whole lot of light. Let's get this started up and get this going. Dovetail Forums. There we go. Doesn't that look like an upside down cross right there? Maybe I'm tripping. Anyways, let's get in, turn the cab light on. Good evening, engineer. Today you'll be in charge of the 1837 Acela Express to New York Penn. You will call it Metropark, Newark, and New York Penn. There are no expected delays to this service. Let's go ahead. I open the doors, let the passengers on. I'm going to put the reverser forward. The good thing about this Acela Express is we do have cruise control, which you can see we can go up to 30. So I'm going to go ahead and set cruise control to right at 30. I think that's going to be like probably 29 point something or another. Cruise control buttons over here. Very important to keep that in mind. We've got 2 screens to help us out as far as diagnostics go. Tilt system is activated, which is this button, tilt isolate. We got the upcoming signals and track speed right here. We need the headlights on. Let's go and turn that on. Cab light off. Check the outside, make sure headlights are on. They are. I'm not even going to read that, because we got to get going. Take the brake off, give it some throttle. I'm going to do 50% throttle, but I'm going to go ahead and just set the cruise control now, because it's already set to 30. Let's get it up a little bit quicker. It is raining, so we'll turn on the windshield wipers with V as in Victor on the keyboard. Very important we get that going. There we go. So we are leaving Philadelphia, like what I thought, 30th Street. And this would be a good time to get some exterior views of the skyline here in Philly. Never been there myself. I heard it's a good place to visit, especially if you like bar fights. No, I'm just kidding. I'm more a southern boy. I've never been above the state of New York other than the New York airport. Excuse me, the state of Georgia, I should say. So I'm not a northern kind of guy by any means. Prefer to stay in Texas in the deep south if I can. Pretty cool. Very, very good route. And I just literally noticed that we have 65 miles to go. Jesus. That's a long way. That's just the first stop. There's our task list. First stop, 65 miles. Total to New York City, Penn Station is, Jesus, almost 90 miles. Even if we're doing 100 miles per hour, that's a long way. This is definitely going to be a long route for sure. So now you might want to go ahead and grab yourself a beverage, some food, whatever you want to do, or just kick back and relax. One thing I do like about the Acela Express, and I don't know what key it is because I haven't played in so long. There we go, interior view, got it first time. Plush blue seats. I love when they do the interior views. I love the rain effect on the windows as you look out. Pretty cool in my opinion. Very realistic as well. T-Mag like. I like you a lot. That's a good thing about cruise controls. I can set it and look at other things going on. Let's try the train by. I don't know what key it is again. There it is. I got it first time. It's like I'm right back to playing this game that I haven't played in forever. Anyways, I do apologize again to you guys for not streaming or recording videos. I promise I will be coming back. It's just been pretty hectic in real life, as I mentioned previously. Sounds of it's almost like nails on a chalkboard right there. Very gloomy outside. It's definitely getting towards nighttime as well, so it's not going to be very bright by any means. So we do have clearance coming up. Signal speed's actually 45, even though this says 60. So you do have to pay attention to what this says down here in certain areas, otherwise you could really make a big mistake. And I'll adjust my cruise control here in just a minute once we get clearance. We got clearance at 60. I think it's going to go back down to 45 coming up though, so just keep that in mind. There we go, raise it to 45. Look at this. Yep, so signal speed was actually 45. So this is what you want to pay attention to. Don't necessarily pay attention to the graph below, just in case. But cruise control should make this slightly easier. Hopefully I can talk a little bit more for better or worse, depending on what you guys like out there. I'll try to get some good exterior views. We got plenty of time. We got 60-something miles to go, so I should be able to get some good interior shots in the cab and then some exterior shots as well. Alright, so we're raised up to 90, even though signal speed says 80, so we'll go ahead and raise it up to 80. Maybe that's the next signal coming up? I don't know. Okay, yeah. I see the reduction in speed already. So we have to be at 80 and then at 40 right here. Kind of confusing, if I do say so myself, but we would definitely want to keep our ETA as low as possible. I'm going to stay in cab for this because I really don't want to mess this up right at the beginning. Go ahead and add some brake. Make sure we get the train down to 40. There we go, down to 40. Because we're switching tracks, that's why. I knew there's probably a reason to go that low, but that is the reason we're switching on to, I guess, an express track is my assumption. I really don't know, but Maybe we can figure it out by taking a quick look at the 2D map. Center on the player. Okay. Signal speed says 60. Let's go ahead and raise it to 60 for now. And then we'll raise it once it gives us clearance above that. Should give us clearance up to 80 here in just a second. Oh, maybe not. We're at 60. Even on the next signal, there we go. Got clearance to 80. Signal speed says 60 on here, but 110 down here. So that's confusing already. We'll go ahead and speed up. Assuming since the green light's here, I don't think this signal is going to make us go down to the 60 that it's saying, but let's verify that here in a second. Hopefully I'm not wrong. These fast corners is why we have the tilt on to help us turn into the turn, or bank into the turn I should say. Track speed's 80. Let's see. Okay, so this signal is going to be 60 is what it was actually telling us, I believe. And I got to get down to 50 right here, so let's go ahead and drop it down to 60 real quick. I have to add some brake just in case as well. Let's go ahead and drop it down to 50 because the graph below is making us get down even further. Under 50, which is what matters. I thought we had to be under 60, but I guess not on that previous signal. Maybe I still have a lot to learn with this whole system right here. Make sure everything's good on here. It is. So it looks like we're heading up on the main track. You can see that's crazy. I didn't know it actually shows all the AI trains, which is pretty cool. Lots of track. We definitely need to be doing 100 plus miles per hour to make some headway on this route. Not sure if I mentioned already, but shout out to, I think, Joshua Braden or Josh on Steam. I'll actually put his information on the next video or live stream when I do Train Sim World Northeast Corridor, but he purchased the DLC for me, so thank you very much for that. I definitely appreciate it. I will be giving some free games away at the end of this video if you guys want to watch throughout. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to give you the passcode or the key, so to speak, but I will be giving out about 3 to 5 free video games. Got plenty to give away considering I haven't been streaming at all as of lately. And we're about to go ahead and speed up to 100. Let's go ahead and raise cruise control to 100 as close as possible. Can't tell if that's 100 or if that's 101. I hope that's 100 though. Let's look closely at it just in case. Ooh, it's right there on the edge. Hopefully it keeps us under. I may reduce the throttle a little bit as we get close, just in case. we'll get some exterior shots when I get a second here. Looks like it's keeping us at 100. It's probably like 100.8 or 100.7, but we're not speeding is what matters. So now would be a good time. I think it would be a good time to do some train buys. We'll look in the passenger view for a while, get some exterior shots for you guys. And cheers to everybody out there as well. Got a lot of messages from Playway, the developer. They're giving me some free access to their games. A lot of DLC for Car Mechanic, which I haven't downloaded yet. But there's one, it's like a demolition game that just came out, like Destroy and Demolish or Demolish and Build 2018 that I really, really want to play, make some videos on. So chances are, if you guys are watching this, my next video will probably be one of those games. Coming up next. ETA is slowly creeping up. We're at 19:13:08 down here. And arrival time is 19:15. Not sure how all that's going to work out. Hopefully the scenario is actually possible to get 1,000 and 1,000. I'm assuming it is. If Nil did it, I don't think Nil would hack this game. I think one or two other people had 1,000 on there as well. So hopefully it is possible. 2 AI trains stopped on both sides. Kind of strange. Lots of miles in front of us. I'm just hoping the speed keeps up. I do like all the AI trains though. Go in both directions. Adds to the realism. Alright, do have a reduction in speed coming up. Checking the signal speed, make sure there's nothing on there. We do need to get down to 90. Go ahead and pull back on this here in just a second. Okay. Gonna let it coast for a second. I may have to apply a little bit of brake. I don't want to be braking last minute for any reason. Go. Could be because of the banking. Take a quick look at the 2D map again. See where we're at. Going to a couple banking turns here. Nothing major. Kind of cool. Probably shouldn't be doing it right now, but you can actually turn the screens off if you want to. I'm not going to turn this one off for obvious reasons. Like how they have the LED or LCD displays. Pretty neat. Clearance coming up to 110 coming up. We just got past a 50-mile marker to go to Metropark, which is going to be our first stop. Projection of 100 shortly after this. I'm just going to raise it up to 100 once we pass this marker. And again, if you guys didn't know already, the back of the train has to pass this line for you to actually see the speed change on here as well. Very nice looking train. Nice interior as well. I like the pre-molded dash and everything in here. Makes it look pretty modern. Alright, we'll be able to raise it up to 100 here in just a second. There we go. Let's go ahead and raise it up to 100. Clearance up to 110 coming up. Not sure what the fastest speed on the Acela Express is. I feel like it's going to go higher than even 110. Again, I wouldn't put money on it, but I'm hoping it does because, like I said, right now the ETA is going up, and we got a long way to go. So I don't foresee 100 being the average speed, or even 110. We'd have to probably be doing 120 plus for that ETA to stay stable, or at least go down slightly per second, so we can actually reach Metropark on time, or by 9:15 or 19:15, excuse me. Let's get back inside for the raise. Adjusting cruise control manually with my hands, aka mouse. There we go. Should be around 109. Yeah. Looks like we may have some time to get some passenger view in. Wish this wall or this little curtain area wasn't right here. It's kind of annoying. Again, probably realistic depending on what seat you get in the... I'm assuming this is business class. Could be wrong, but it looks like business class seating from what I can see. See it right there. I guess it's a decent view. Just looking straight ahead, you can see some scenery on the right and left. We're trying for the 1,000 of 1,000. Not sure if it's possible on this scenario. I definitely hope it is. Never been on a high-speed train here in North America as of yet. Been on plenty over in Europe, Italy, Germany, England, those places, France. Been on Amtrak before. The only Amtrak I've been on so far in North America goes from Seattle to Vancouver. Actually, it's a beautiful, beautiful ride along the coastline through some cliff sides and little mountainous areas, or hilly areas, I should say, not really mountainous. So if you guys haven't been to Vancouver or Seattle, I definitely recommend going to both of those cities. They each have their own special places to go and beauty. But also that train ride is amazing. So arrival time should be 19:15. It's about 25 minutes just to get to Metropark, roughly, by my calculations. Let's get back in the cab, make sure we're not missing anything that's coming up. Check my phone, got someone texting me. As I hear a train go by outside. Too bad it's too dark outside, otherwise I'd have the train cam going right now for you guys. That will be on future live streams as well. An improved train cam, by the way. Less than 40 miles to go. I believe the Trenton area might be coming up. Not sure how to find it on here per se. Might be this area. It's assuming there's going to be a slowdown. I believe there's like a long bridge with a river or a lake or something coming up. I could be wrong. Been a long time since I played this scenario, but I feel like I've done this scenario so many times it used to crash somewhere in the upcoming area. Still stuck at 110. ETA again still going up. It's almost up to 1915 already. Got about 49 seconds more. And I do see reduction to speed down to 80, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce this down to 80. So I can't get it on 80, I have to do it below 80, unfortunately. This might be that area I was talking to or referring to with the bridge and all that, though. Right, down to 80. Do a couple train buys. Although I should be watching the signal speed just in case. Let me get back in the cab. I'm really afraid the signal speed is going to come up and say like 60 or 45. Don't want to mess that up for any reason if I don't have to. Making sure my parking brakes aren't on for any reason. Alright, yeah, this is the area I was talking about then. Got the bridge coming up. Lots of scenery here in this area on both sides, as you can see. AI train still going both ways as well, which is nice. Really good frame rate considering the age of this engine. Because you get some of these routes, especially longer routes, that just have garbage frame rate regardless of what your settings are. But whoever did this route really put their time into it. I wasn't sure if it's Dovetail Games or a different company that did it, but shout out to whoever made this particular route. They did a really good job in my opinion. Clear lines. We're not following any trains. Looks like we're more on an express route, being on the inside track on the right hand side. That's the other express line going back, and then you got the other trains that are stopping at stations or every other station. Hoping our speed increases here shortly. Not sure if this is going to randomly do it or... Okay, we got clearance to 135. That would definitely help, hopefully bring the ETA down, like I was talking about earlier. Also, we can knock out some of these miles as well if that's the case. ETA is almost at the arrival time, which is not what you want. I think you can arrive up to 15:59 without getting any penalties on the points, which is right here. I got 250 of 250 so far. But as soon as you hit like 16:01, for every second you're late, you get a penalty on the points. And it will put you in the negative really, really quickly. Alright, I'm pretty excited about getting 135. That's definitely going to be hauling ass, so to speak. It's like another Acela Express train right there. Alright, got clearance to 135. Let's go ahead and bump it up. I think that's 135. I'm hoping that's 135. Yeah, it's right. Looks like it's smack dab in the middle of 130 and 140 right there. Let's go ahead and get up to speed. And hopefully this ETA will start going down slowly but surely. That's my hope at least. Big dip right there by this station. Another dip. Should really get some engineers on that. Alright, less than 30 miles to go. Good marker to be at. Afraid that's at like 136 and we're getting speeding penalties. Assuming we're not, but you never know. Looks like we're good. Let's do a couple train buys at 135 since we are officially flying now. Straight track for the most part. Not a whole lot of scenery out here. Beautiful looking train. Time to do a passing review as well. See how fast the scenery goes by. Not a whole lot of choppiness. Like I said, the frame rate's really, really good. Very happy with it. You see those miles are just ticking off now, which is good. That's what we want. ETA doesn't seem to be going down. We're still almost right at the arrival time, which is not what I want. If it's going down at all. Keep an eye on it for a minute. Okay, it's starting to go down a little bit now, which is good. Let's get back to the cab. Nice big window that we can see out. I forgot that locomotive. It's the AEM something or other. It's one of the hardest, to me it's one of the hardest locomotives in the game that I've used other than steam locomotives, of course. Make sure I can see this in the bottom right, just in case anything pops up. Again, we're going from Philadelphia to New York City Penn Station. 45 miles total, but once we get to Metropark, next one's about 10 to 15 miles out, and then another 10 miles, so it'll be more about stopping and picking up passengers at that point. We're really on the bulk of the routes between Philadelphia and Metropark, as you guys can see right now. And we are already from 30 miles to go to 20 miles to go, so definitely flying, which is a good thing. Normally I don't save, but I think I'm going to save at some point in this route, just because I feel like it could crash at any minute. It doesn't even have, like, usually if I make a mistake, I'll go back and just redo the entire scenario, which I don't mind, even if I wasted 45 minutes. You guys never see that part of it for the most part, unless you're watching me on live stream. But I just am afraid of the game crashing randomly this far into, which is why I'm going to save. Already down to 18 miles to go. No change in the speed that we're going as of yet. No signal speeds coming up. So I'm a happy camper right now. This is good. I think it's been a pretty smooth ride for our passengers as well, considering we're using cruise control. Definitely helps out. Definitely not a whole lot to look at out here by any means. Here's where we are on the track, just straight flying. We got a station of some sort coming up, so let me get back into this view just in case. I feel like a slowdown is going to happen at any point, especially under 15 miles or under 10 miles to go for that matter. Once we get there, you know we're going to start seeing some reduction in speed of some sort. Still raining outside. Time is, what is that, 7:05 p.m. at night. It's not completely pitch dark outside. Must be a full moon or something. Miles to go. If you guys have been playing any video games or new games that have come out, please let me know, especially if they're simulator games. Definitely want to check it out, try to make some videos on it if I can. And also the key word, if you got to this point, is the golden prize. You want to chat in the golden prize below. I'm going to give out probably games to the first 5 people that type in the golden prize. They'll be part of the Humble Bundle, of course, which I get a bunch of games from that. And I'll put it in the description, 1 through 5. The first person will get item number 1, and the second will get item number 2, so forth, until all 5 games are gone. So go ahead and type that keyword. Definitely give you guys the game as soon as possible. If you want to also, you can put your Steam name. It would be a lot quicker because I'm going to gift it via Steam as far as sending the link over. So put your Steam ID on there if you could as well. Alright, ETA has actually gone down quite a bit, which is good. We're at 19:14:25. And our arrival time is supposed to be 19:15. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. see any reductions in speed as of yet. It's making me a little nervous because we're almost to the 10 miles to go marker. We're flying, that's for sure. Alright, getting really close to Metropark, right at the 10-mile mark right now. Definitely know something's coming up, just don't know what. Or how soon the reductions will actually happen. I'm going to find out here in a minute though. There's a reduction down to 120 already. Let's go ahead and make sure the throttle's off. Let's go down to 120. There we go. And do a little bit of braking, minimal reduction if we can. Scenery's definitely getting busier now. Down to 120. Nothing on the signal speed as of yet. 8 miles to go. Just trying to keep an eye on everything and anything. Alright, gotta get down to 100. Let's go ahead and reduce cruise control down to 100. And do 20% on braking. May have to go down to 40 or up to 40 on the braking. Close eye on the speed, miles to go, signal speed, the graph, a little bit of everything just in case. 20% easily got us down to 100 miles per hour. Okay, let's go ahead and add a little bit of throttle, keep us at 100. Stay in cab for this for obvious reasons. 6 miles to go. We see a reduction down to 90. Then I'm going to let off the throttle, bring the cruise control down to 90 or as close as I can. Alright, I see a reduction down to 45 coming up. So I'm going to actually reduce that down to, I'm assuming, I don't know. Is this signal or one that's coming up? I'm assuming it's not this one. Oh man, I don't know. Pretty sure it's not this one. It should be the next one, should be 45. I believe. Coast right now. So yeah, definitely down to 45 on this next one. That's why I'm just letting it coast. Cruise control's on. I could turn it off to keep speed up, but I'm not going to. Give it a little bit of brakes. Need to get down to 45 miles per hour. For this upcoming signal right here. ETA is going to be going above the arrival time, which is not good, but this is what we have to do. Okay. So I was going to go above 45 for a minute there, but no, we're good. Cruise control is helping us out. And I believe we're going to be switching to the outer track before we get to Metropark so we can pick up passengers for obvious reason. That's our first stop. Then we'll be heading to New York Penn, which is right now, it's just under 18 miles, 17 and a half miles. There we go. Under the 45, which is good. Again, should be switching tracks any minute now. So far, so good. Getting darker outside. There we go. Here's the switch. We should get a raise in speed up to 90 from the looks of it. So I'll raise it up here in just a minute. There we go. Let's go and get up to speed. Since we're already past our arrival time, I'm going to go a little bit faster, or as fast as possible, I should say. Coming into the station, I don't want to lose any time. I want to be able to make sure we're set up for the next leg of the route. There we go. About a mile and a half to go to Metropark. Haven't really done any braking. I know the brakes on this Acela are pretty good, so I can brake late, but we are going to be going slightly downhill. Keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and coast it right now. And let's go ahead and start braking. Still not liking my ETA, it's still pretty high. Although I'm not sure if it's calculating it correctly because I still got a full minute on here. There's a platform right here. Let's go and get a good exterior shot of the doors opening up real quick. Right at 19:15. We're exactly 5 seconds later, so doors opening up, allowing passengers on. Again, next station will be Newark Penn. Got to arrive there by 19:30. Really like to get some more exterior shots, but given how hard the scenario is, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Let's go ahead and take on off. Still have cruise control on for 90. Keep a close eye on the bottom right. Just under 15 miles, about 14 and a half miles to go to our next destination. Signal speed says 60. Woo! And that was that signal, so that was a close call. I barely took the throttle off in time. At least I'm giving you guys an idea of how the route goes. Help you guys out. I'm just going by the wire right now. A little nerve-wracking, especially being this far into the scenario. I guess we're going to be switching to the fast track, hopefully. I don't know why we would with only... There we go. So we are switching to the fast track. And our speed should increase up to 110 here in just a second from the looks of it. The signal still says 60 on there. I don't know why. Pretty sure we can go 110 though. Might be for the outer track on this signal. Next track speed's 110. Here we go. Doing good, doing pretty good so far. Like my nerves are shot already from this game. This is why I like playing Transom World. It's so much more forgiving than this. Our ETA is way ahead of the arrival time, but that may be because we're going to be slowing down quite a bit coming up. I'm going to stay in cab. I'd like to get some exterior shots, but I just don't want to mess this up. We're 500 for 500 right now. Trying to go for the 1,000 of 1,000 is my hope. Seven 18 p.m. $10 miles to go. Put it next here for just a little bit. Pretty industrial on both the left and right side. Looks like a bunch of factories. A cement plant off there in the distance of some sort. No reduction in speed quite yet. It's coming up any time right now. 8.5 miles to go. I would love to stay at this speed until we get there, but I have a feeling we're going to be switching tracks. I could be wrong, but there we go. There's the reduction down to 55 right there. Why the ETA is so low. So I knew we were going to be slowing down quite a bit. %, braking should get us down there hopefully. go. Down to 55. Clear track, no signal speed to worry about as of right now. About 6 miles to go. Might actually have an increase in speed coming up. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. Still green track. Don't have to worry about slowing down for any reason. Then we have to be in the station at 19:30:15. ETA is 19:27, but quickly going up. We have another short distance here. We can actually speed up quite a bit. Looks like we'll have a track speed increase to 100 miles per hour here in a second. It's only 5 miles to go. Definitely going to make use of the increase in speed if I can. Here we go. Go ahead and raise it up to 100. Go up to 100 miles per hour, only to probably slow down here in just a minute. Just not sure when it is. There it is. Down to 70. May get a signal speed as well coming up. Four miles to go. Off the throttle, reduce down to 70. And we're going to go ahead and brake a little bit. Passing by the Liberty Airport, looks like. We're locking it around 67, 68 miles per hour. So afraid to do exterior shots in case the signal speed comes up all of a sudden. Less than 3 miles to go. Beautiful station, by the way, right here. It's the International Airport. I wish I could see a little bit higher. Can't really see anything. Love the station, though. Beautifully detailed. Let's see, can we see anything over here? Don't see anything on that side. Don't see anything on that side. Well, so much for that. ETA slowly coming up there. We got another 2 minutes, 15 seconds or so to get to the station that we're going to. I do see a reduction down to 35 coming up. Looks like just before the station. Not too concerned with that. I am concerned if one of these are going to end up being like 60 and 45 though. You'd think it would show up, right? I'll reduce it to 60 just in case. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I don't think it's going to go down to 60, but you never know. Okay, it didn't. So what the train's telling me, what's on the graph is actually correct so far. Pretty happy about that. Getting down to 35 miles per hour right now, letting it kind of coast. Looks like this signal will be 45 miles per hour max speed. Half mile to go. Almost got speeding right there. If I was 35 or 36.1, I would have got a speeding charge, which you definitely don't want. ETA is looking good. Speeds are looking good. Turn the windshield wiper off for a second since we're inside. ETA still looks good. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be an extended stop from the looks of it. You can see how slow this is going, probably because we arrived a little bit earlier than expected. Now is a good time to take a look at this train. So this is business class, which is, I guess, similar to economy, because I think this is business and first class. So business class, another business class from the looks of it. So we must have been in first class. And this is crazy. So this is a little, I guess, bar area, lounge area. Got some pizza. Hungry. Is that hot wings back there? Some Red Bull, Sierra Mist, and some Perrier. So let's just take a quick look down the track, or down the train, excuse me. This would be first class right here. This is what the passenger view was, and that's the end right there. Let's go back to the bar, because you guys know, if you guys are riding on a train with me, where I would be, to be exact. It'd be right here. Well, technically it'd be probably like right here, because I can still talk to everybody. Like, what's up? What's up, girl? How's it going? And I don't think this is Amtrak attire. Could just be me. Could be wrong. We'll see what. Yeah, that's definitely not Amtrak attire. And what is she sitting on? She's not sitting on anything. I mean, you are beautiful, but you should really sit down. You shouldn't float like that. Your eyes are kind of creepy, though. Yeah, that's some like Skyrim eyes right there. What is this? This little bump here. And I mean, they definitely, whoever made this didn't do a very good job on whatever the strap is, but they did a really great job on these curve lines. That pizza. I don't know if I would take her or the pizza. Probably the pizza, honestly. I would tell you a joke, but it's a mature rated joke. I'm not going to do it. It's the difference between peace and something else. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I think it was on the Chris Rock's newest special. Go and check that out if you want to. We do have a red signal coming out, so there's probably an AI train blocking the track somewhere along the line. You have now dropped off passengers at Newark and will now stop at New York Penn, where your train will terminate. Am I saying that right? Newark? I could be butchering that. And I live here too. I don't live in New York. I live in Texas, so I guess I have a right to butcher that. Cruise control still active. Yeah, I definitely cannot pass. That would end the scenario, which is not good. I guess we're just going to wait till clearance. That's all we can do. And there's a train coming in. So I was probably waiting for that train to come in before allowing us to go out, which is fine. ETA is already behind the arrival time, which I'm a little nervous of. There we go. We got clearance to leave. Let's go ahead and get going. And we're going to be locked in at 35 for cruise control, which is what we want. Leaving. Turn the windshield wiper back on. And we're off. Here we go, guys. Last leg of this journey. Should be cleared up to, I think, 45. Yep, we are. Go ahead and raise that up. I think that's 45 right there. At least I hope it is. Don't go above 40. Okay. All right, yeah, it's 45. I'm always nervous. Like, is that a 46, 47 marker right there? I hope not. Beautiful station that we're leaving. Headed into the unknown towards New York City Penn Station. Probably stay inside with the signal speed and track speed activated right now. Need to make sure we're not gonna speed for any reason. All right, switching track right there. It's a pretty rough shift in track, if I do say so myself. Beautiful train by, and we got clearance to 60, so let's go ahead and bump that up. There we go. And we got clearance to 90 coming up as we head on the northbound lane. So I'll be adjusting that here in just a second. There we go. Let's go ahead and adjust that up. And I hope that's 90. Sometimes if you go up and down with the cruise control, you can kind of mimic the numbers or where you want to be. Sometimes it goes back on the numbers, sometimes it's right below it, but you just don't want to be right above it. And I think we're good. Hopefully. Let's see in a second. I'm going to reduce this just in case. No, we're good. When I say reduce this, I mean reduce the throttle, because if it's 100%, I don't want to bump it over that 90.9 marker for any reason. Getting a little nervous. The ETA is behind the arrival time by quite a bit. We got a reduction down to 60 coming up, so I'm going to have to start slowing down here in a second. In fact, let's go ahead and start slowing down now. Let it coast, and I'll do a little bit of late braking. Try to ensure we get some additional time on the clock if possible. Seven miles to go. And we are under 60 now, which is good. It's what we want. We'll be cleared to go back up to 75 here in just a second, though. 6.5 miles to go. Slowing down for the bridge, I guess, what it looks like. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Beautiful screenshot right there. If it was daytime, not rainy or overcast, or nighttime. All right, so we got to increase to 75. Let's bump this up. There we go. Another beautiful station coming up. I definitely remember this from playing in the past. Not sure what scenario I was doing offhand, but even with cruise control, this scenario has been hard. It's definitely a 4 out of 5 difficulty. It is possible so far, although the ETA, like I said, is behind the arrival time right now, so I'm just hoping that does go down or we actually get there on time compared to what it's saying. But yeah, it's been a pretty difficult scenario, but doable. It hasn't glitched out, hasn't frozen. It's just hard. That's all I can say. That's what you want. This is the kind of scenario you want to play on Train Simulator. It's not broken to where you can't beat it and get frustrated. It's not too easy. So I highly recommend this scenario and route so far. Again, reduction down to 60. I'm going to take off the throttle. Let it coast down to 60 here in just a second. In fact, we're going to be going downhill, so I'm going to slightly reduce it even lower than that. So I don't want it to bump over 60 as we get on the downhill portion for any reason. If it does, I can catch it in time to brake a little extra if I need to. I think we're going to be hitting tunnel to Penn Station here in just a second. Yeah, here we go. I think this is the tunnel coming up. I'll leave it on the 0 throttle. I think the decline will be enough to have us at speed, and the cruise control should help me brake. I'm just not sure how much it's going to actually help me brake, so I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Keep a close eye on the signal speed in case it reduces down to 45 for any reason. Here we go. A little nervous about this, not gonna lie. Should be at 55. We're already at 57 almost. So I'm just going to give it a little extra braking to help it out. Yeah, definitely needs the additional braking. We'll turn the windshield wiper off. I don't need it anymore since we're inside. Roughly 2 miles to go. Bumped the brakes just a little bit too much that time. Alright, should be bottoming out here. Still 1.3% decline, should change here shortly. At 0% decline right there. Give it a little throttle. Goes back to the 55 mile per hour marker. Gotta get down to 15 miles per hour coming up. Not sure if the cruise control will let me go that slow. Tunnel's giving me like nausea right now. Maybe it's my nerves from playing the scenario. Let's go ahead and start braking. Make sure I'm under 15 coming up. There we go, Let's see what the cruise control does. Will it hold me around 15 or not? Yeah, it is. 14.5. Perfect. That's what we want. New York City Penn Station approach is what we're doing. Probably switching tracks up here. You can see the station down there. Arrival time, or ETA, is actually over a minute past the arrival time, but I think we're good based off these numbers here, I believe. Find out. I really don't want to lose points. If I do it at this point, it's still getting uploaded. I made it this far. I did everything as perfect can get, in my opinion at least. Yeah, I may actually be late though. No, I'm not going to be late. Because I'm almost at the 42:45 mark, and I have a minute after that to stop, so I'm fine. I was freaking out about that. Please let me get 1,000 and 1,000. Please! Please, please, please. Never done you wrong, Dovetail Games. I've always supported you, even in the darkest of moments. I'm gonna go ahead and brake. That's what we're doing right now. Almost exactly on time. Maybe 5-10 seconds late at the most. Yep. There we go. And that should definitely do it. Turn the cab light back on. Turn cruise control off. Turn the headlights off. There we go. Let's see what we end up with. Yes. I got a timeliness penalty. I don't know why. You have successfully dropped off passengers at this station. Well done, engineer. I think the timeliness penalty has to be a glitch, but I'm not going back. That should be 1,000 of 1,000. You guys know it in your heart. If you got this far to the very end of the video, put cheers, cheers. Again, you have the chance to win free games by watching the entire video. Feel free to comment below cheers, cheers, along with the code word or the keyword, and I'll get some free games over to you guys as soon as possible. Anyways, thank you guys again. Sorry I haven't been uploading a whole lot or streaming at all. I am okay. I'm alive. I promise you guys that. Just real life has taken over, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. Oh, we gotta look at the points too. Sorry. There I am right in the middle of all my friends with an 880. I don't know how I got 60 seconds late. I don't think that's wrong. It has to be a glitch, but whatever. I got my gold star, I guess. I really don't know. But anyways, now's the time to go. Cheers. Take care. Later. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Etc. Peace. Don't you know, it is getting old.